Engaging discussion on the future of energy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Praveer Sinha, CEO and MD, Tata Power Company Limited, for a conversation with CNBC TV18's Nigel D'Souza.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Well, because of the line of business that I normally deal with, most of the time I get calls from, the back end of various corporates saying, Nigel, we don't want to know only about the revenue, the margins, the PLFs. So I think this is a good opportunity, Mr. Sinha, to understand your view on the economy, your view on the renewable energy space, as well as I would like to understand a little bit about your journey as well. So first up, there's a lot of debate about the state of the economy right now. And one of the lead indicators, or the high frequency data that I track, is the power demand. And that's one green spot, I would say, because power demand is looking up. I think at the start of January, there was some kind of softness, which post that actually has improved. What is your take on the economy as of now? Power demand is looking up. It could only get stronger from here on, going by historic data. So give us your take first.
Thank you, Nigel, and thank you, Forbes, for having me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, heartiest congratulations to all the winners today. It's great to be a part of this celebration. First of all, I must compliment you. Wearing a great jacket. I don't know whether it was by design to ask about power. So power is sun and yellow color. So I think you aptly dressed yourself.
I think it fits in, with the current state of affairs with regard to the stock market. Add some color. And if you say solar, then I'll go with that as well, which I want to understand in further detail. But please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So I think India is a growing country. It's an aspirational country. A lot of people today are aspiring to make a change in their lives. And I think if they want to change, power will play a very, very important role. And the consumption of power, we have seen, it's not only in the cities that this has happened, it has happened in the villages, thanks to the various programs of the government where they have been able to electrify most of our villages. So I think I'm to that extent fortunate that I work in a sector which is growing very fast. It is about providing access to energy to people in all parts of the country. And I'm quite excited about the opportunity. India's per capita is one of the lowest in the world. And there's only one thing that can happen, and it can only go up. And I think we'll play a very, very important role in this journey.
So as of now, power demand up to your expectations?
Yeah, absolutely. It is very much up to our expectation. Also, one of the things that I think we need to understand is that climate change is happening a big way. What we used to see, the start of summer, which typically would start in sometime in mid-March, now starts in beginning of February, and it goes right up to October. So I think the demand of power also has increased because of the change that we see in the climate, and the extreme heat conditions, extreme weather conditions are actually making the impact very, very high.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the pivot then. Thermal power seems to be taking a bit of a back step as of now. And what's taking center stage is renewable power. And as you said, there's a lot of focus from the Tata Group itself, Tata Power, on renewable energy, whether it's solar or wind as well. Putting multi-billion-dollar project in South India and various other parts of the country as well. So India is headed to that 500 gigawatt, right, in terms of renewable energy capacity. What role does Tata Power play out there? The total capex you're putting down, where are you and where do you see yourself headed, say in the next 6-7 years or so?
I think we are fortunate in our country. Solar, we have more than 300 days of sunshine, and I think we need to exploit that. We need to use it to the maximum. Government is very keen on adding renewable capacity, clean energy capacity, and I think this is the need of the hour also, because with the type of climate change and with the type of things that are happening globally, for us, this transition is very, very important. Tata Power is one of the oldest power companies. We are nearly 110 years old. I saw MTR, 100-year-old company. So I think it's great. We have a great legacy, and it's great to be part of the change and transformation which is happening in the country. So I think we will definitely be playing a very, very important role. We've always been the game changers in terms of the technology, and the first hydro plant that came up in 1915 was set up by us, and very many firsts that have happened in the last 100 years. So you will see us being right there in the forefront, driving all the new initiatives, all the new technologies, and I think Tata Power will be a very, very integral part of the transformation that will happen in the country.
Okay, you want to give us a couple of numbers? The total renewable capacity that you see by 2030 or so, Tata Power, because we know India is going to be adding many gigawatts. So if you want to give us a rough target?
I would just like to say that we'll add large capacity. We are one of the biggest, and also an important player, because it's not only adding capacity, but also ensuring that how do we provide access to people. We are an integrated power company, so we do all the things, that is transmission, distribution, and generation. So we will ensure that no one in this country has a shortage of power, and we will try to bring access to them wherever they are in this country.
All right, Mr. Sinha, tell us something a little bit about yourself, about your journey. You have very, very strong foundation. Electric engineering is what you started off with, and then you're heading the company as well. Tell us a little bit about this journey. The way you've moved in the last few years, the way you keep your team together and keep them motivated as well.
So I think I'm fortunate to be part of the Tata Group, where for us, what is important is the value system and purpose. This company has been right there for last more than 100 years, and the purpose was to produce clean energy, produce affordable energy, and provide large quantity of energy. And I have been working in this sector for last nearly 4 decades. So I really feel myself blessed. There has to be a purpose, and I think the purpose is that we provide universal access of energy. We ensure that there is no energy poverty in the country, and anyone, anytime, anywhere will get access. We can now actually give them access of clean energy, which was not there earlier with many of the technology innovations that are happening. And I think the other thing that we continue to do is empathy for employees, empathy for the society. Again, part of the Tata DNA that we have, where we reach out to everyone in the society and ensure that how do we bring them into mainstream and provide them the opportunity so that they are able to excel in their space. And lastly, I think one of the things that we always keep on working upon is the humility, and how that will bring us, bring the best technology amongst us. Because when you have humility, you always have a purpose to learn. You are always a student. You never say that I know everything. And I think that's what is very important for me and for the work that we do in Tata Power, that how we become always a young company, always trying to learn new things, and never saying that we know everything, and the spirit of learning and the spirit of trying new things is always there.
Well, indeed, and I think, in all our professions, you keep learning on a day-to-day basis. I'm lucky as well, since we track the stock markets. On a day-to-day basis, you keep learning, keep innovating, and in fact, try to get the best for yourself as well as for your audience. Final question, sir, before we wind down. We've spoken a little bit about the sector, about the company, that's Tata Power as well. Tell us a little bit about how you've managed personal as well as professional career. Someone like me, I've got 2 little kids at home, and it's a challenge off and on, because you try to put in your best, you're putting the best show at work, try to be the best dad at home. Tell us a little bit about your journey as well.
I don't think we should get bogged down in always being the best. We should always be talking about how you are available for people and how you have time for people. And I think that's what is important. Whether it is best or the second best, I don't think everyone will become judgmental, but more is that you are trying to spend time and quality time with whoever you are. So in a meeting, I know people have a habit of seeing their mobile and sending messages. In an event you attend, people will look at their mobile at least 10 times and try to figure out that who sent you a message or or whom you want to send a message. So I think we need to give quality time wherever we are, and I think if we can do that, we would do a great job.
Okay, in terms of India's journey towards this entire clean energy, renewable energy, net zero, do you have anything on your wish list that you would look forward to? Since we're focusing on solar, there's plenty that's been done, right, with regard to the solar modules, solar cells as well. Anything that's on your wish list?
I think the wish list is always that how do I ensure that we reach out to everyone? And I mentioned to you about energy poverty. They are large parts of this country and also large parts of world where people do not have access of energy. And when I talk of access, it's an affordable energy that we are talking about. And how do we reach out to them? And how do we provide them the same access as we have in cities over here? I can imagine if we don't have supply of electricity in cities and you don't get to charge your mobile phone, what will happen? People are going to get crazy. So, but I know places in India, in villages in India, where people do not have, and someone collects mobiles and goes to the nearby town and charges it once in 3 days and brings it. So while for us, we take it for granted 24/7 in one day, there are places where 24/7 has a different meaning, 24 hours in 7 days. So I think it's very, very important that we provide them 24/7 electricity every day right through the year.
Okay, all right, Mr. Sinha, it's been good chatting with you. Thanks a lot for joining in. So the key takeaways is power demand in India is rock solid, plenty of room for penetration, work-life balance needs to be maintained. Stay in the moment that you are in. Thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you very much.